Hey guys, what is going on today? Bojo here, back again for another NHL 16 Hockey Ultimate Team pack opening and our Q&A number 3. So, thank you guys for sending in your questions once again. If you guys do want to leave some Q&A questions, either personal stuff, hockey stuff, or whatever, random stuff, whatever, just leave it in the comment section down below and it will more than likely be used in a future Q&A video. So, we got a lot of questions this time around as I kind of forced it upon you guys, saying the more questions that you guys leave more frequently, the more frequent I can get these bronze packs out. And you guys do seem to like these videos as well, getting a good bit of not view wise, but a good bit of support on them, so I appreciate that very much. All right, so we got 31 bronze minis again from QMJHL collections, so let's get started. There are some new flashback junior players out, so I would not mind getting one of them, or a Movember. You know, that'd be pretty nice as well. So let's start cracking open these questions, and we'll start off with the first one from Todd Bosworth. Can you put the comments on the screen like in the top left corner so we can see the questions? Absolutely not. I will not be doing that throughout this video. I'm sorry, I will not be doing that for future Q&As. You will most definitely not see that happening in any Q&A video for the rest of the time that I choose to do them. Absolutely not. No way in hell. I'm sorry. Next up, from the same person. Do you think Eric Lindros should be in the Hall of Fame? Also, I don't know if you guys caught the sarcasm in that last question, but yeah. Do I think Eric Lindros should be in the Hall of Fame? Is it weird that I was just looking at like potential snubs for future Hall of Fame considerations like literally yesterday? So I was actually looking at this last night, and do I think Eric Lindros should be in the Hall of Fame? I definitely think Eric Lindros should eventually be in the Hall of Fame. But apparently, what I was reading in some article that I was looking at, a lot of the players that have been are surprised that are not in the Hall of Fame yet. Is a lot of the guys have been because of injury. Like Eric Lindros was one of them. Who else was another one? I think who was it? Wow, I can't remember the article. That's gonna piss me off. That's gonna piss me off that I can't remember the freaking article I was looking at. There was so many other guys that they listed down there that I know off the top of my head. I know one of the other people was like Chris Osgood, but he really didn't face injuries all too much. There was a lot of people. Mark Recchi, I think, was one of them. I think there were a couple other players in there as well, but yeah, there were a couple players in there on that list that were not really considered all too much because injuries have really prevented them from playing to a higher level. Jeremy Roenick was on there as well, although he's kind of meh. But yeah, there were a lot of potential, a lot of really good potential players that I would not mind seeing in that Hall of Fame. So yeah, I definitely think he does deserve in there. I really do think they should overlook that. Just because the guy's career was shortened due to injury, you should base those numbers off of what injuries, like his injury and an effect on him. Like, they shouldn't judge it on, oh, the injury affected him this much, so he could have played so much better than what people would have thought if the injury didn't actually happen to him. I hate that. Just judge the guy on how he actually played rather than looking at the injury side of things. But yeah, I think Lindros should definitely be in the Hall of Fame one day, no doubt. Okay, next up, Mr. Revelation, who should be, oh, yeah, that goes along with that. Who should be inducted into the NHL Hall of Fame that is not in yet? So, yeah, it's the same thing goes along with that, the Hall of Fame thing. Like the guys that have been injured, the guys that had their careers shortened due to injury, I think they really should be considered a lot more than people have given them granted for. All right, I'm pretty sure I have both of those guys. Yep, so we can just quick sell this. Okay, Desmond S. asks, will the Philadelphia Flyers make the playoffs? Hell no, they will not make the playoffs. I can guarantee you that right now. The team is just too inconsistent. The team is too damn inconsistent. Their top lines are inconsistent. You know the team is not playing well when the head coach is making Jacob Voracek play with Chris Van de Velde and Pierre-Edouard Bellemare and playing Drew with Braden Shen and Michael Raffl. You know something's out of whack here. Voracek's just not scoring goals, man. Voracek is not scoring goals. Drew is getting the points. I'm not gonna blame G for anything. Drew is still racking up points, but It's just that his line mates aren't really giving him any help whatsoever. Drew's line mates, I mean, Raffle didn't do much. Shen's not really doing all too great either. Simmons is having a very, very bad start to the year as well. Wayne is not having the greatest year at all. By this point in time, he would have had like a ton of power play goals, but he has not had the best year at all. Ghost has been playing amazing since he's come up here. He's given that power play new life. Yeah, I don't think... Every time I decide to talk about like a certain team or a certain player, we always seem to get something that resembles them in a pack. Let's talk about Sidney Crosby and hope we'll get a November pull. How crazy would that be? You know how nuts that would be? That'd be crazy. But yeah, they're not a playoff team. They're not a playoff team. Come trade deadline, I completely expect this team to deal some of the older players. I expect Strike to be gone. I expect maybe like Luke Shen or somebody to be gone. Maybe even RJ Umberger or Vinny LeCavalier. If it means eating salary, do it. Whatever it takes to get those players with those salaries out of here quicker, sooner rather than later. It'll just help the team in the long run. Because next year, like after this year is over, and if you just finally have a chance to dump those high-end contracts, this team is going to be looking a hell of a lot different next year. Younger players, you'll see like drastic changes made in the offseason. You'll see like the older players get moved out. You'll see a lot more younger players on the team. That's a question for a Flyers Talk podcast for another time, which I've not made many at all this year, but I think that might be time for a new one. Barring what happens at the dentist. I talk about that in another pack opening, so I won't talk about that in this one. Robbie Fabry, Vetrol. Yeah, we'll just hold on to Fabry. That's about it. Okay, but that's a good question there. A random guy asks, who do you think will win the Stanley Cup this year, and who's your all-time favorite hockey player? Okay, so we got a 2-for-1. We got a blue plate special at Walmart. Okay, who do I think is going to win the Stanley Cup this year? Well, it's pretty tough. 3 teams immediately come to mind when I think about Stanley Cup contenders so far this year, and they're off to really, really good starts. Dallas, I mean, obviously my opinion could change if a team gets hot at the right moment, like people have said. All it takes is a team to get hot at the right moment and they instantly become a Stanley Cup contenders. But if I had to judge right now off of the season, Dallas, Montreal, and the Rangers, without question, those 3 teams are definite top Stanley Cup favorites right now. Dallas's scoring threats are way too scary. Montreal is putting up goals as well. Everybody keeps saying like the only reason Montreal is doing well because of Carey Price, but then again, Carey Price has been injured, twice so far this year? He's only going to miss a week this time around, but still. Mike Condon's been playing very well for them. The Canadiens are still scoring goals. Everybody that always says Montreal's defense is the reason they win games. They're putting up like 3.4, 3.5, 3.6 goals per game, which is pretty ridiculous to say the least, that they're scoring that many goals on teams like that. But yeah, they're definitely dangerous. The Rangers are always dangerous. They're probably the Eastern Conference favorites right about now because the way they're playing is just ridiculous. You could probably throw the Capitals up there as well. Pittsburgh might get hot around that time again as well, so you can always possibly count them as favorites, but then Fleury just likes to collapse in the playoffs like he normally does. But yeah, Dallas, Montreal, and New York Rangers are definitely my picks right now for favorites for Stanley Cup. Alright, we're pulling some gold players here. Getting a little bit better in overall as we go. But hopefully we might be able to get a good card here. Anders Lee. Appreciate that, though. Alright, next up here is... Oh, my favorite hockey player. Forgot about that. All-time favorite hockey player. Oof. Well, it's gotta be a Flyer. It has to be a Flyer. Who was my all-time favorite hockey player on the Philadelphia Flyers? All-time favorite hockey player. I really do like... I like Hexy. Hexy was awesome as a tender. He didn't take no shit from nobody. I like that about Ron Hextall, especially as a goaltender. He did not take shit from nobody. Player-wise, I liked Forsberg a lot. I really did. Lindros, like I said, was cool. I loved the Legion of Doom between John LeClaire, Eric Lindros, and Mark Recchi. That was pretty awesome. I really don't think I could name a favorite hockey player. One individual person. I like so many players. I probably couldn't narrow it down to one. I suck when it comes to like picking one player or one person in like a grouping. I really do suck when it comes to that, but whatever. Good question though, nonetheless. We'll leave that for you guys as well. You can ask some questions, but who is your favorite all-time hockey player? You guys can leave that in the comment section as well. I would love to know. Okay, I'm gonna skip the questions as well, even though they're like individual questions asking about one team. I might skip those just to go to more interesting ones, comments, but I'll see if I could just touch on them lately. What do you think of the New York Islanders? Well, your stadium, your new arena is all kinds of flubbernuck. That place looks absolutely ridiculous. Just by watching the Flyers play the Islanders the other night, that place is pretty ridiculous. It hurts my head to look at it. I don't know why. It just hurts my head to look at that stadium, arena. I keep calling it a stadium. But Islanders, you know, they were a very promising team coming into this year, but they've just been an up and down team once again. And they need to get that consistency rolling once again. If Johnny T can pick up and start carrying the team, I think they'll be pretty good. But they need they need the depth players to really come in clutch. So they need guys like Okposo, Nelson, Nielsen, those guys to really pick it up for their team. So yeah, that's what I think of the Islanders. Let's see. What do you think about Martin Jones' play on the Sharks right now? Jonesy's been playing very, very well on the San Jose Sharks. I'm actually quite surprised. For a #1 goaltender, he's actually playing a lot better than I think a lot of people were expecting of him. I think that was probably the weak point. I still do think it is the weak point of the San Jose Sharks right now. But, you know, they've been playing a lot better as of recently. Their top players started playing a lot better. Marlowe, Burns, Joe Thornton's been playing a little bit better as of recently as well. So, Pavelski, I think once they get Couture back, I think that's really going to change the Sharks team. But remember, if the Sharks do struggle some point anytime during during the trade deadline, or if they fall out of a playoff spot, just keep an eye out for possibility of Patrick Marleau or Joe Thornton being moved. There's always a possibility of that happening. Would you what about Kane's line mate or Artemi Panarin? I'm saying you're looking at the Calder winner right there. You're looking at the Calder winner right there without a question. If you pair up a guy with Patrick Kane, I don't see why you shouldn't win why you should not win the Calder Trophy. I do not see any reason why you shouldn't win the Calder Trophy if you're going to be paired up with Patrick Kane. The guy's ridiculous. A lot of people just saying he's only good because of Patrick Kane as his lineman. I mean, I watch some Hawks games every now and then just because I have a shite ton of them on my fantasy team, because I got Kane, I have Hossa on my fantasy team, and Corey Crawford, so I do watch my fair share of Hawks games, and the guy is actually pretty good. He did have a pretty bad game, I think the last game I watched when the Hawks were playing, who were they playing? I forget who they were playing off the top of my head, but he had a pretty bad game where he was turning the puck over a lot, but still, the way his speed out there on the ice is really good. The way he moves the puck, the way he finds passes, the way he just passes the puck. He's a very smart hockey player, and I definitely think he's probably going to win the Calder this year, no doubt. Would you ever start a Hut series on PlayStation 4? Once again, find me a full-time job, buy a PS4, I'll start Hut. Once December comes around, I'll start a Hut series on this channel. It's not really going to be a Hut series, it's just going to be like, you know, live games of me playing Hockey Ultimate Team, but still. There'll be a beast-ass team out there on the ice, too. We'll have over 3 mil, maybe even 4 mil of coins to spend on those type of players. But, yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. I haven't played Hut since any of the new tuner updates, so it'll be interesting to see how bad I am to start. But Hut series is coming. Just you wait. Once again, just these individual player questions. I'm going to skip over this one. We're going to be running pretty close here because we only have a couple more packs left. But we'll keep Baptiste there. Once again, I can't answer that question I can't answer that one because I don't know what my favorite bronze player is to use in this game, as I have yet to see them all. Let's see. We need one more question here to answer. Leon Draisaitl base card. That's pretty cool. It's a nice card. Oh, I have one already? Didn't know that. Oh, whatever. We'll hold on to Leon Draisaitl. All right, and let's see. You get one more question here. Kind of answered that question already because this guy's asking about Gostisbehere being so underrated. What do you think of his play right now? Yeah, like I said, he brought speed to the power play. Their Flyers shots have increased as a whole. Their opportunity for scoring chances, their prime scoring opportunities have increased. So yeah, Ghost has been a good addition to this team. I was actually, that exact question, that exact answer I provided just now was on Flyers postgame live too, just the other day. It was pretty awesome that I got on TV because of that. All right, so this is the last pack here. Let's find one more thing to open. Favorite European hockey team. It's got to be for my boy Jojin. It's got to be Brynjas, because we got some nice Flyers prospects playing over there in Europe, and especially on that team too. Felix Sandstrom, Darude Sandstrom. Yeah, Brynjas. I like Brynjas a lot. Jojin always gives me updates on how Brynjas is playing, so I from time to time follow how they're doing. So Brynjas is my favorite European hockey team. And that is just about it. So once again, guys, there's actually not that many more questions for that pack opening video, so feel free to leave some more. Once again, try your best to not use any repeated questions, but once again, we're just going to continue to grind through these packs. I'll show you guys the current collection right now for QMJHLs. Just show you how many more we have left to do with them. We're only about, like, what is that, 3, 6, 7 more teams left for the QMJHL, and then we have the entire OHL to do, which shouldn't be too hard because most of these collections are pretty full already. And then once those guys are done, we'll start moving our way into the European leagues and the silver collection. So silver packs will be fun to use. Didn't pull anything once again. Couple gold players here and there. Nothing really too good. No junior flashbacks either. Kind of disappointing, but whatever. Thanks guys for watching. Remember to leave your comments and questions down below, and we'll answer them. So thanks for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe as always, guys, and I'll see you next time.